With the new Warframe Nokko comes a decent amount of lore, at least compared to other past Warframes. So today I am going to talk about it, since I did cover each Warframe in this video here. Now, there isn't a ton of spoilers with this, but just in case, I do recommend playing the new war because I believe this comes after the new war, I think. So just kind of do that before this. So anyway, with that being said, let's begin. Of course, you all know Nokko by now, who's the 62nd Warframe added to the game, and keeping up with the other recent frames, there is a good amount of lore coming with Nokko. Now, his lore more so corresponds with things Nightcap remembers, so it can be considered Nightcap's lore as well, but we still get a glimpse as to the intentions and nature of Nokko. So we get this information out from Nightcap in the Fortuna area, where right next to him is a mushroom known as the Prince, which essentially makes you high just to get these little visions known as stem paths. And these visions kind of show you the glimpse into the history of Nightcap and Nokko, and there's a total of 3: the purple path, the blue path, and the green path. So let's start with the purple stem path.
Don't listen to that trash, mate. Corporate just wants a little fungal remediation is all. Get in, get out, get paid. Easy credits. Right. Something messing with our gear. Sure you ain't been snacking on these mushrooms, mate? Job sure would be easier if these mushrooms weren't so mucking pretty to look at.
Watch the spores! Get back to the airlock, you muggers! Run!
What the hell is that?
Hey! Oh, for soul's sake! Who let a mucking kids out here? Hey! Get back here! Stop mucking about with our gear!
As we can see, Nightcap was working with Nef Anyo, the Tony Stark of the Corpus. Well, kind of. Together, they were working on clearing out an area for a super secret Corpus project in the Undermines. Nightcap and other Solaris believed that the fungi they found down there were an Orcan experiment gone wrong and was abandoned by them. There, he found a kid which at the time was unnamed, but would later be known as Nokko. In the Undermines, Nokko would constantly sabotage the Solaris while they worked, kind of hindering the plans of Nef Anyo as well, showing there could just be a lot more to this area that meets the eye, which we start seeing and start learning a bit more about in the blue stem path.
Oh, you little mucker! You dumped me muck on accelerant! Oh. Smart little mucker.
No corporate. No co. Nokko, yeah. I'm gonna call you Nokko. All this fungi, eh? I swear it's filtering the waste from the towers. You take the fungi away and Venus goes all fire and brimstone.
It has come to my attention that some Solaris are refusing work orders in the deep mines. Such insubordination will be dealt with swiftly.
No, Mr. Anyo, sir. Will not comply. I'm shutting down the elevator. Nothing more goes up, and nothing more comes down.
Here we learn that Nightcap is growing closer to Nokko as he gives him that name. which is inspired by no corporate or Nokko, if you can see that connection. If you can't, it's because Nokko seems to be against the Corpus, who are corporate idiots. So anyway, while working with Nokko, Nightcap discovers that the fungi is the very thing helping Venus cool down, as without them, the planet will combust and probably kill everything on it. And if you don't know much about solar systems, it's because Venus is incredibly close to the sun, so it's going to be burning with increased heat. Now this might be a way that the ore can just kind of threw this fungi or made this fungi onto this planet just to kind of give it some life so you can live and inhabitate it. We don't know. That's probably what it is though. So just keep that in mind when you think that the fungi is cooling it down. Anyway, Nightcap makes the decision to seal off the undermines from everyone to save the fungi down there, despite Nef Anyo's wishes of course. This made Nightcap an enemy of the Corpus, as most Solaris are, and this really just kind of shows in the green stem path, as you will see.
Well, look at you, Nokko. You ain't some leftover freak that some Oregon mucker made in the lab. Don't know how or why, but somewhere along the line, you became the roots and fruits.
I should have never sent Solaris to do the job of Corpus.
Nokko, they're coming. I'm blowing the mine shaft. No more coming in, no more getting out.
Just you and me now, kid. Okay, Nokko. Your garden is safe. It's getting dark, Nokko. Ooh. I don't think I can help you much longer. Goodbye, Nokko. You're trying to tell me that I, good old Nightcap, died down here ages ago? You better be careful. The prince can play tricks on you. He's a funny fella, just like Nokko. But you gotta keep your head on straight. Trust me, you ain't careful, this place will turn you all sorts of funny.
This stem marks the end of the tale as Nightcap learns that Nokko is part of the fungi growing in the undermines, showing that Nokko only wanted to protect his home. But as Nightcap sealed off the entrance, it brought about another tragedy. Nef Anyo sent troops to invade the sealed off elevator. Nightcap wanted to protect the undermines, so they blew up the mine shafts, essentially sealing off the mine for good. This also locked away any resources from getting down to them, causing Nightcap to worsen and slowly deteriorate, pretty much dying. However, Nokko did remain by his side as he grew closer to death. Rumors say that Nokko revived Nightcap since all of his records from the Corpus database was wiped. Nightcap denies this by saying the prince always plays tricks on us. However, it could have happened. It genuinely could have happened. He just is trying to hide it? I don't know. Or, you know, if you think about it, Nokko could have just been the one that wiped a database. We don't fully know. But I do want to point out, as far as we know, the Nokko Nightcap met could have been the original, similar to Stalker or Clerbo or even Jade, meaning he knew what was happening and was fully conscious. It could be that, or, you know, just a Tenno was possibly piloting that Nokko. It's kind of hard to tell. I think it's more so the first one, but I at least wanted to mention it because, like I said, it's kind of hard to say at this point, but who knows, maybe we'll find out in the future. Probably not, actually. Now, one last thing to mention is that the developers basically said Ureli is like a big sister to our boy Nokko. This most likely does not have any big lore significance whatsoever to who they actually are, but if it ever does, then that means a few things, because they wouldn't be the first family Warframes in the game. Just take a look at Jade and Stalker. Ureli and Nokko could be siblings. It wouldn't be far-fetched to say that the Orcan have done quite a bit of messed up things in the past and possibly future, so taking a pair of siblings and turning them into Warframes could be very possible. Now, we don't know anything about Nokko before he was a Warframe. We know a little bit about Ureli, so maybe when Nokko's Prime comes out, we'll get a little tidbit like we did Ureli and learn something about who he was before. But we might just have to wait, I don't know, 3 years to learn a little bit more. So yeah, I guess it'll be cool to see. Maybe I'll just forget about this. But if the developers didn't go this route, they could just say the two frames are extremely close, since they both are, in a way, protecting Fortuna or Vallis. To be fair though, the same could be said about Cetus frames such as Kome, Gara, and Revenant. So personally, I like to think that they are truly brother and sister. And you know, just kind of looking at the personality of Nokko, I kind of want to assume that he is obviously the younger brother and he was turned into a Warframe at a younger age. But like I said before and many times over, we can't tell at the moment. So anyway, that is enough theorizing on Nokko. I hope you enjoyed this little short video about him. You can find out most of this stuff for yourself just by playing the Undermine bounties. But if you're anything like me, while you play the game, you get quite distracted, so you will miss half the text in the game. So yeah, here's just a little summary on his lore, just for you, along with a little sibling theorizing. So let me know what you think about Nokko, his lore, or even his abilities, or do you think he's ugly? I don't know, I haven't decided yet. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Maybe like, maybe subscribe. I don't really give a crap as always. And maybe join the Discord in the link below. And I guess I'll just see you in the next video.